What's going on, everybody? I'm back with another new podcast. Whether it's your first time here or you're back for another one, I'm glad you're with me today. I got some clips we're going to be breaking down, and it's all about how feminist ideologies have gotten in between men and women, destroyed relationships, and flipped things upside down. So let's get right into it. But before we do, just make sure you subscribe to the channel. Go ahead, hit that notification bell. It lets you know every time I release a video. And do me one more favor. Show a little love to the like button. Now let's get into it.
What our society does to 19-year-old women, we just lie to them all the time. You know, the first lie is there's nothing more important than your career. That's the first lie. The second lie is there will be nothing more important to you in your life than your career. So that's the second lie. And then the third lie is there should be nothing more important in your life than your career. So that's the third lie. Implicit in that is the idea that children are a burden, and that the idea that women should have children is part of the oppressive patriarchy and should be resisted. And who are men to tell me what I can do with my body? And hey, fair enough. You said 50% of women now at 30?
50.1 childless by 30.
Yeah, well, you know, that's not good. That's a sign of something profoundly wrong with the entire culture at an extremely deep level.
As a female comic, I thought once I reach a certain level of fame or success, I'm going to start getting the Kim Kardashian. Like Pete Davidson is dating Kim Kardashian. He's had Kate Beckinsale or Ariana Grande. Like, that's pretty impressive for Pete Davidson, this comic. I'm like, maybe as a female comic, I'll start dating that level of like hotness. And it doesn't translate because what they found, there's a study that came out in the Atlantic Ocean. It was an Us Weekly that I pulled out of the surf, but it was, it was a study in the Atlantic, and they found that men and women both say when they're looking for a partner romantically in the opposite sex, they look for the same things. Number one, looks, and number two, sense of humor. But what they found when they dug deeper was that men and women define sense of humor in the opposite sex completely differently. Women define a man with a sense of humor as a man that makes them laugh. And men define a woman with a sense of humor as a woman who laughs at their jokes.
Let me ask you, okay, by show of hands, guys, how many of you, your woman tells wonderful stories? The guy holding his woman and she's cold? Okay, go ahead. No, okay.
At this point, you just have to laugh at the complete lack of understanding modern women have when it comes to male psychology and what actually attracts a man. She would understand and know that it is women who are looking for providers and protectors, and that is why a man's money and career matter to you.
Message.
But men, on the other hand, look for different things. We value beauty. We value fertility, which is tied to your youth. And we also value a woman we can cooperate and get along with. And your career just doesn't move the needle on these things. In fact, it can move it in a negative direction. And it's not because men just hate women with careers and their own money. We understand the attitude you have had to develop in order to be successful at your careers. And these are the lies that feminism has told. They have said men and women are the same, think the same, act the same. So when you go out on that dating market, you think you need to be what you want to attract. And that is just not true. And if you do try to develop your characteristics to be more of what a man likes, they call you a pick-me. And they shame men for what they actually want. So how are men and women going to get together when we're looking for completely different things and one side is being told they shouldn't even like what they naturally like?
Men are taught that they have to make women happy. The fact of the matter is, you can't make anybody happy. You have to make yourself happy. Happiness is a byproduct of achievement. So for women to say that they're unhappy, it's their own fault. Anybody who says he's unhappy, it's his own fault. Everybody has to make himself or herself happy.
You're giving me such a bloody headache. Yeah, I mean, where are you from? Where are you from? Dear Lord, I would never in a million years teach my girls that they have to grow up to be reliant on a man, as you can well imagine. I would never teach my son that he should be attracted.
But Tracy, you're the same one. You're the same one who brags that she's so strong and so tough and doesn't need a man's money. Yet you're taking alimony.
City boy, city boy.
Got him. We fucking got him. That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT! Ooh. Ooh. What? Oh, yeah.
Aw, a modern woman, once she hits the wall, they're so cute and adorable. You just gotta love them. Come here, get over here. Actually, no, get away from me. Now, if she would just switch her pros and her cons, this list might actually start to make sense. Because for a man, independence is not necessarily an attractive characteristic. Men are more so attracted to cooperation, and that's not something you develop being independent into your 40s. And speaking of your 40s, you are no longer in your prime. You may look good for a 40-year-old, but your prime passed 20 years ago. And going back 20 years ago, you probably had all of the options that you could have imagined. So how do you know what you want if you weren't able to pick someone when you had all your options available? The only thing on that list that was a pro is you giving amazing head, and hell, you might have had to go through a lot of guys to develop that.
Yes, I think that the black community does actually need strong nuclear families, but not because we're black, but because that's the natural order.
Amen.
And so I think it would be safe to say that Reese may not be a Christian, because when God looked at man, he said it's not good for man to be alone. He gave him a woman. He didn't give him a village. He didn't give him the community. He said, be fruitful and multiply to this man and this woman. So it's supposed to be God, husband, wife, child, and that's the natural order. And that's why I think we can see some of the foolishness that we see in the black community, because we are out of order. And we can make up all of this stuff that sounds good. I'm from a single parent home, and I'm not somewhere cracked out in the street selling my body. However, that is not ideal. It would have been better for me to be in God's order, to have a mother and a father to raise me. And that's just what it is. You know, the effect that it's had, we've had women for generations now saying that they don't need a man, and we have boys that don't want to be one.
I mean, come on, we got people preaching today. Our sister right here is absolutely correct, especially when it comes to the black community. We need more two-parent households. We need more family structure. There are far too many black children being raised in single-parent households. 70% of black children are raised by one parent. And we all know that when you remove a father from the home, every statistical category you do not want your child to be in increases. So we need active mothers and fathers, but the only way to achieve that is to have men and women working together. And how can we work together if we don't understand each other? If we have one side being told they need to be the men they want to attract. These are the lies that are being put out there, and it is why we're in the situation that we are in. So we need to start peeling back the bullshit, figuring out what actually works, and highlight that and do it, and stop shaming people for wanting those things and actually developing themselves into more suitable partners for their future spouses. But that's gonna do it for this video. So subscribe to the channel, like the video, and if you guys have anything to say, please leave it in the comments below. And until another time, I'll see you guys later.